Привет, дорогие друзья и дамы. Вы на канале Джолис и Джек Цветок. С вами, как всегда, я, Джейк. Мы с вами продолжаем прохождение Stories Patch of Destinies. Я выбрал не сам прохождение Небореза истинным, а вот снова пойдем к Зенобии от Небореза и к ее отцу. Хочу глянуть там к отцу, потому что у нас остается 2 Небореза, 1 Иблис, 2 Зенобии истины и 1 истина про Люпина. Поэтому мы пойдем сюда, к Зенобии, глянем, что у нее будет. Будет ли это к Неборезу относиться или к Зенобии. Потом будет Иблис. От него тоже мы пойдем, типа, идти к Зенобии, чтобы ее убить. Не убьем, глянем, что от нее. А потом уже, наверное, будет именно Иблис с Неборезом и Неборез сам по себе. Потому что у нас осталось, по идее, видео 8, если я как думаю. А может даже я и не 8, может даже еще больше, потому что все же...
The Sky Ripper could destroy anything it touched, or so the legend said. As the Transcendent Emperor had fought the Lost Gods, thousands had died. But Renato had been through wars. The only merciful war was a short one.
Так, я понял, как можно, наверное, было попасть в другое место, которое меня все каждый раз мучило. Может даже и не 8, а больше, потому что 1 здесь, 1 Иблис, потом 2 Иблис, 2 Неборез и у Люпина, наверное, тоже 2. Как ты меня атаковал, зараза? Я же вроде ставил на тебя блок, нет? Вроде в эту комнату идти надо. Патруль ваш долбаный гадин. Мне, короче, надо это развернуть. Еще раз. Да, вот так вот встал. Извините.
A chest that shiny deserved to be opened.
Ну, интересно все равно было. Ага, не все равно, да? Ну ладно. Что это фишка? Господи.
There it was. Sky Ripper's armature. The stuff that dreams are made of. Engineers' dreams, anyway. The device was intricate. No one alive had the skill to make a thing like it. How was it part of a weapon at all? He'd have to ask a scientist. But first, he'd get the second piece. Sky Ripper had a heart. A core that had come to rest on the next island. Well, there was another island he could reach. Zenobia had just invaded it with her father's Raven battalions. She must be encamped there still. But fighting Zenobia now, that made no sense at all. He'd already sacrificed one friend to get this armature, was it? He didn't need to hurry to face her. She would find him. Renato asked to... The truth is, though, he wanted to see her, wasn't it? It had been a dozen years since Swordfu School. He'd followed every rumor about her, every scrap of news. Not that he still loved her. After all, she was his enemy. No, it was solely because, know your enemy. All right, maybe he should stop pretending. He knew exactly how she felt about him. But their love affair always ended with a tragic death. Unless, maybe he could find a way to dodge tragedy. Surely he could, couldn't he? He couldn't do worse with Zenobia than he'd done with the core, could he? You blinked. Renato wasn't entirely sure how he was going to capture Zenobia. She'd be expecting him. And he didn't have Lapino to cook up a clever plan. Why was it again that he hadn't got the core? Maybe because the results tended to be disastrous. These streets were familiar. The Swordfu School was closed now, but he had been down that street 1,000 times. He knew that pub. He knew that alley. He knew the alley behind it much too well. No wonder Zenobia had chosen to invade this island herself. Renato slinked through Zenobia's ship, making no sound at all. Where were her guards? Finally,
That makes no sense. It's a trap,
shouted the Emperor.
I'll meet you at the outpost, and I'll bring my interrogators.
If Renato came face to face with the Emperor, maybe he could assassinate him. But maybe it would be smarter and safer to turn Zenobia against her father. You're lying. It was a short, safe landing. At least this part of the Nexus hadn't changed too much. Zenobia had been taking him to the Imperial outpost. She'd never expect him to go there by himself. Well, maybe she would. You never knew with her. Renato knew Zenobia, and Zenobia knew him. She'd suspected a trick. Now he'd vanished. She would probably guess that was his plan all along. Perfect. Maybe she wouldn't use the Sky Ripper. At least not without taking it to the scientists at the observatory first. Meanwhile, the Emperor would be coming to the outpost personally. This could be good. I'll just have a dash, thought Renato. Renato was face to face with the Emperor's bodyguard. They looked very tough, but the Emperor held them back. Oh, well, that's a job well done, thought Renato. Now the fleet will be in all sorts of disarray, but maybe he could find her in the mountains. She always used to go to the mountains to hide from the world. Maybe he could even turn her against her father. Or maybe he could reap the benefits of the chaos he had sown. It was time to report to the Rebel Council, and then launch the attack on a divided and very confused Imperial fleet. Renato felt very clever indeed. He'd told the Empire nothing but the truth, and now they suspected everything and everyone. So, why are you going to see Zenobia? He asked himself. It's not just a gloat, is it? No, of course not. Now, turning her against her father was good. It was very good. If she would actually join the rebels, that would be spectacular, right? That was definitely what he was doing. He wondered if he should have just told her the truth about her father. The Emperor had adopted her from a stray. That was the source of all her loyalty. But even then, he'd been dreaming of a bargain with the lost gods. They alone could make him immortal. The Emperor would have to seal that bargain with the life of someone who truly loved him. And who else truly loved the Emperor? But how could Renato tell her that now? Why would she ever believe him? The funny thing was, she should have trusted him. He told her the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Oh, all right. The truth was, he'd played her like a fiddle. And how often had he ever done that? She was so smart. Smarter than him, really.
please?
Чем дальше в лес, тем он будет темнее и глубже. Нет, кажется, чем дальше в лес, тем он будет темнее.
Renato had given away the location of the secret base. Fortunately, the Emperor thought it was all a trap. He even mistrusted his own daughter. Renato couldn't have done better if he'd planned it. What have you done to me? Zenobia demanded. My own father thinks I'm a traitor. So? But I'm loyal. So what? You're a bastard, Renato, she said. Now, you love that about me. You really did want the core, didn't you? And the Iblis stone. Yep. He gloated. You get all that? She said to the far speaker toad he'd failed to spot.
I am so relieved, my daughter,
said the far speaker. And Zenobia got into her ship and flew off. Damn it. The old far speaker trick. How had he missed it? This was very bad. Zenobia back in her father's good graces, and both of them ready to use the core and the Iblis stone. He got back on the Farfarer. Briefly, Renato thought of fleeing. The odds were surely against him. Never tell me the odds, he told himself. Odds confused him. He preferred to trust his gut. And so he sailed on to attack the fleet. Alone, if necessary.
Глупо.
There were not many rebels here, and they were disorganized. The Empire had obviously attacked the secret base. The formerly secret base, whose location Renato had so helpfully pinpointed on a map. There was still time to turn around, wasn't there? But Renato hated turning around. Heroes don't turn around, they just own their screw-ups and turn them into impossible victories, right? Renato had a feeling that was the back door to something. But what? The odd thing was, Renato's personal battle was going fairly well. The Ravens immediately in front of him were no quicker or tougher than usual. Where was the power of the core? Blasting him off into the abyss. And where was Zenobia? She must be up to something. But whatever it wasn't his problem. Not yet, anyway. It was all going surprisingly well. Now, doopsie-doo. Soon he'd confront the Emperor. Again. This time, he'd make an end of him. He'd screwed up last time, but he had a good feeling about this time. At last, he came to Zenobia and the Emperor. She was sealing up a kind of squat coffin, banded with lead.
So glad you're here.
Croaked the Emperor.
You will be witness to my final victory.
That's creepy, Dad, said Zenobia. But thank you. Because of your shenanigans, we tested the core. It's really unstable. It could have blown us all up. It could, said Renato, a little frustrated that she'd figured it out. Anyway, we already destroyed your secret base, so we don't need a super weapon. We're just going to bury it. Do we, torture you? Or give you a medal? Sometime later, Renato got an invitation to attend the Emperor's ritual sacrifice of his daughter. They took him out of his dungeon cell and gave him all his medals to wear. A little while after that, the lost gods returned, and the sun went black, and the Emperor ate his soul.
Oh, again?
But he already had all the secrets he needed. He was sure of that. He must have not used them the right way. What was the best, worst mistake he could make? Probably trusting that traitor Lapino.
Герой, который не падает духом, даже испортив все на свете. Вот что мы за герой. Да, как я уже и подумал, что это получается Зенобия. Значит, как я уже сказал, следующим будет Иблис. И с ним Зенобия либо вот тут будет, либо вот тут. Я не знаю точно, какой из них будет. Ну, где будет стоять, либо здесь, либо вот здесь. Это мы посмотрим. У нас ставится одна слепина. Это похоже там, где ключ к этому, к этой истине. Там вот неборез. Точно я не знаю, из каких двух там может быть решений, типа с ядром. Потому что там вот есть аванпост, мы не атаковали при полном. Хочу заметить. И здесь, возможно, если сюда пойдет Зенобия с Иблисом, отпустить Зенобию, она будет здесь. Тогда здесь уже, когда мы поглощаем ядро, наверное, будет. Но мы посмотрим, мы посмотрим. Я ничего не гадаю, мы посмотрим. А общая идея у нас остается 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ну, 6 видео, наверное. Если, конечно, вот это все вы понимаете сами. Ну, а я с вами прощаюсь, дорогие друзья. Если все понравилось, вы подписались, поставили лайк, написали комментарий, нажали на колокольчик, поддержите канал, если те, что я перечислил. И ждете продолжения сториса. Скоро у него будет конец. Как и у Valiant Hearts. И у Губки Боба тоже будет скоро конец. Я почти что уже думал, какие игры снимать. Ну, сами вы все увидите. Ну а я с вами прощаюсь. Всем удачи и пока.